do color study, we could not only think about color. We also need to make a quick decision of composition and value. Pay 80% attention on color is enough. The color window has many different kinds of models. You can use the shortcut F6 or find it from Menu, Window, Color. I use HSV model for painting most. It means hue, saturation, and value. This model is easy to pick the color you want. Some of the artists may prefer to use Hue Cube. I used it a lot before I got Curers. RGB, red, green, and blue. They consist of a triangular shape. Another famous color model is CMYK. You may have heard that. Cyan, magenta, and yellow. K is key. We don't need it in this video, so ignore it now. The third color model I will talk about later is LAB. Now we focus on the RGB model first. I only use this model for color change. These three colors are mainly used as shadow colors. We use CMYK model mostly in color printing. In painting, we use these three colors for light. You may ask why. That can be explained by LAB model. LAB is a three-dimensional color space. L means light. A is green to red. The second slide from left to right. B is blue to yellow. The third slide from left to right. Okay, go back to the 12 basic colors. I use color picker to pick all these colors. Yellow's L number is 97. This one is 90. Next one is 88. Spring green has the same light number as green. Cyan is 91. Blue tone colors L number plummeted a lot. Violet is 41 and magenta is 60. Rose is 55. Red is 53. Orange is 67. I changed the color model back to HSV. All these colors have the same saturation and value numbers. I said that CMY is used as light color because of their higher L number. Each of the CMY color has the highest number among 1/3 of all the colors. These three colors consist of this triangle. Although we have 100% saturation and value, red, green, and blue are still the darkest one among all the colors. If I change the value of those colors, let's take a look what will happen. I create a new multiply layer and choose 100% black and change the layer opacity to 80%. You can see that the colors in the right half is lighter than the left. All these colors still have the same value and saturation. But in humans' eyes, they are quite different. I change this layer's opacity to 50%. Cyan and magenta's L number is higher than the others between them. Now we know the hue and saturation may change the color's value a lot. We don't need to remember all these numbers, but we need to know how to use the color while we are painting. If you use magenta in a light part and want to paint something in dark, I would choose the color tend to blue or red. Others are the same. Knowing this basic series will help you paint well. However, you still need to find your own way to use colors. Almost all the artists have their own habits to use color. If you follow the visible light spectrum, like rainbow, you will always get color harmony. Here is a simple example. I painted this reference in 3 tones, black, gray, and white. Then I divided it into different colors. It didn't have much details, but enough to show the main part. We can use hotkey Ctrl-Y, change into grayscale version. You can see I changed the composition and value for my painting. Value only has 1 slide bar and color has 3. If you could not paint all these things well in full color version, I do recommend you to try black and white version first. Analyze this reference image. You will find this focal point easily. It also has a cross composition. Only this strawberry has high saturation colors. All the others are low saturation. If we just copy the reference image, it would be a bit dull. I remain the focal point and its saturation. Then I change the light part a lot. In grayscale version, you can see I increased the value contrast. Focal point should have the highest contrast among all the areas. We can get nice results with limited color and value. Let's take a look at the color I use here. This strawberry consists of vivid colors: rose, red, orange, yellow, and green. Follow the hue slide bar. Light area, similar as the focal area. Yellow, green, cyan. They all use the same theory. I use blue tone color in shadow area. I use light yellow and cyan as highlight. Expect the strawberry. Other areas only have yellow, green, and blue 3 colors. The color range is about 1/3 of the color wheel. Green is the complementary color of red. That's why I choose green to fill the big shape. Choosing what kind of color palette based on personal taste. We need to balance unity and variety carefully. Red only has a small shape in this painting, so I use high saturation red to catch the audience's eyes, and green should be the background color. Its saturation is lower than 50. I use the same shape as reference image, and let the wine glass and light area pop out. A triangular shape instead of the cross composition. This study is beginner friendly, I think. Painting value first if you cannot control color very well. Then fill the shape from big to small in different colors. Just 2 steps. Example 1. Strawberry cake. Step 1. Big shapes in different layers. Step 2. Divide all shapes in light and dark. Step 3. Paint shadow and control the edge. Step 4. Paint light, highlight, and reflection. Step 5. Add details. Step 6. Final adjustment. I painted this painting in portrait, exporting it as a PSD file. The reference image has a clear light and shadow. I used the same shadow value as it. This strawberry cake is the main object. I change its proportion of the canvas. The area I choose is the light part. Others are in shadow. It's a two-value, low-contrast study. I changed the color tone into pink at last, in order to suit this video's main color. This painting has a common process. I paint different objects on different layers. Once I was satisfied with the shape, I will lock opacity pixels. The edge between light and shadow is high saturation. I use adjustment layer to add more colors on different edges. This layer adds a soft light with halo. Overlay layer is used to increase color saturation. I prefer to paint small details on separate layers. All of the big shapes have their own layers. I use color dodge to increase the light again, and adjust the tone to pink. Now I close the reference image. I don't need it anymore. Let's analyze and check the color in painting. This painting is in low contrast. There isn't a huge gap between light and dark. The V number is higher than 50. We can see all the shadow colors on cake clearly. I use a lot of color here, thus they are not the color near each other. We still get color harmony. Do you remember the L number in LAB color model? We need to use that to change color. All the colors are picked in the same grayscale area. They might have the similar L number. This skill can be used for big single color shape. This strawberry only has unity colors. Light part is warmer and the shadow part is cooler. Rose, red, orange to yellow. It looks simple but full of experience and personal taste. Of course, your value must be right. Right color in right shape in right position. Almost all the masters said that. Okay, let's pick the light area's color on the plate. The plate in reference image only has local color. In my painting, the light is yellow, a warm color. Shadow is red to rose. It's much cooler than yellow. The crevice shadow of cake is purple. This color change still follows the hue in one direction. This small light area uses the same method as well. Take a look at the cake. I use light yellow, yellow and orange for the cake. The leaves look green, but it is low saturation yellow. All the strawberries have similar color slide. They have the same color as reality. Yellow, orange, red, rose. And here, I paint a small line of dark red. Okay, I think I have shown you all the methods I use in this painting. Next painting consists of basic theory and personal taste. I prepare another example based on local value. Example 2. A bunch of tulips. It has similar steps as previous ones. Step 1. Big shapes in different layers. Step 2. Paint all the elements from big to small. Step 3. Paint light and shadow. Step 4. Add details. Step 5. Edge Control. According to this reference image, I use local color to increase the contrast of focal point. This area seems like a triangular shape. I use 3 values to paint a simple thumbnail for it. That will divide shape clearly into light and dark. And I also use composition, rule of third, for this painting. We need to have a basic and clear shape at first. Focal point may have the highest contrast. It also has the highest saturation. All the light areas surrounded the dark. They may in low saturation too. This area will be the lightest area in this painting. As I said, the flowers and leaves will be dark. I paint them in different layers. Then duplicate the group in single layer as a copy. I'll use a low saturation pink to purple as background color. The wrapping paper and the ribbon are on different layers. Since I painted on portrait, I could not show you the details for final adjustments. Check the value again. You can see the final result suits the symbol nail. Okay, let's zoom in and check the color I use. The flowers in the light may have warm color, because the petals are translucent. They will be interfered by sunshine. In reality, the flowers won't have such bright highlights. Since it's my painting, I do all the way I like. The leaves are translucent as well. Yellow, green to blue, from warm to cool color. I also use some very dark color on edges. Red and green are contrasting colors. I don't want green as obvious as red, so I reduce its saturation. I change the wrapping paper's material and increase its transparent. This kind of material may have various colors. In previous example, I add some colors on the shadow side of cake. And this one, I add colors in highlight. They have similar L number, that's why it looks harmony. Almost all the highlights have different color tones. I look the transparent pixels. Then reduce the brush occupation about 20 to 30% to do it. Let's analyze the ribbon's color. The ribbon is a bit dark than other parts around it, so I use blue and purple for it. The color I used for shadow has a lower L number than others. You can see these colors are still in the left top corner of the hue cube. Nothing special, I just choose one color for one value. I reduce the brush's opacity to add various colors. Cyan and magenta are used for highlight color. I use blue tone for shadow part. This paper is translucent, so we may see some green here. It may also have some reflection from ribbon. Now I want to show you something about edge control. I use a rough texture brush here. Add some orange, yellow, and purple. Because of the translucent paper and the top corner light, lower part will be lower saturation and darker. These two examples look nice, cause I spent 5 to 6 hours on each of them. The more time you spend, the better result you will get. I hope this tutorial is helpful to you. Thanks for watching this video and see you next time.